If you're watching this, something in your field already shifted before you even pressed play. Take a second and really sit with that. Out of everything competing for your attention right now, every notification, every distraction, every demand on your time, something in your energy reached out and pulled you toward this exact video. That wasn't random. It wasn't chance. That was your aura doing what it does the moment it starts to wake up. It begins searching for the frequency that matches where you're headed, not where you've already been. And where you're headed is extraordinary. I want you to really let this next part land. Not just hear it, but feel it in your body. You are standing at the doorway to the best chapter of your life. Not the best one you've had so far. The best one, period. The one you've sensed coming for far longer than you've admitted out loud. The one that finally makes sense of why certain things had to end. Why certain doors slammed shut. Why some seasons dragged on and felt impossibly, unfairly hard. This chapter, the one you're stepping into right now, is exactly why your field has spent so long quietly clearing, recalibrating, and rearranging everything around you. Even in the stretches when nothing seemed to be happening, you were already winning. That's what your field is telling me about you at this moment. Not that a win is coming. Not that you'll win if you play your cards right. You already won. Past tense. The quantum field has already put the pieces together. The only thing left is whether your aura is broadcasting at a frequency clear enough to actually receive it. That's exactly what we're going to explore today. We'll look at what your energy field has really been up to during this stretch of your life. The clearing, the recalibration, the quiet internal rebuild that felt like loss, but was actually preparation. We'll get into the mechanics of why entire chapters of life shift. Not as some poetic metaphor, but as a real energetic event that happens in your electromagnetic field before it ever shows up in your physical reality. We'll talk about what it means when your aura starts reaching toward a new frequency, and why the people close to you sometimes sense the shift before you consciously do. And together, we'll do a practice designed to anchor your field in this new chapter. Not a wishing and hoping exercise, but a real act of broadcasting the signal of the version of you who has already arrived. Here's what I can tell about your energy right now. It's coherent in a way it hasn't been before. Something has settled. Whatever used to create static in your field has gone quiet. And in that quiet, your real signal, the one that's been buried under fear, conditioning, and other people's expectations, is finally coming through clean, strong, and unmistakable. That signal is your light. And it's been on this entire time. Let's start with something that happens in your field long before a moment like this one. There's a specific energetic pattern that shows up right before every major life chapter begins. Anytime a person is about to step into a significantly elevated period, more love, more abundance, deeper alignment, richer creative expression, their energy field moves through a very particular sequence. From the inside, that sequence feels like the opposite of what it actually is. It feels like struggle. It feels like standing still. It feels like confusion, loss, and the quiet devastation of watching things you thought you needed fall away. But at the quantum level, at the level of your actual electromagnetic field, what's really happening is a complete reorganization of your broadcast frequency. Here's the science behind it. Your aura, the measurable electromagnetic field extending several feet beyond your body in every direction, isn't static. It's not some fixed halo sitting unchanged around you. It's a living, dynamic field of information, generated mainly by your heart and nervous system. The Heart Math Institute has spent decades measuring this. What they've found is that the heart generates an electromagnetic field roughly 60 times stronger in amplitude than the electrical activity of the brain. 60 times. That field moves outward in a donut-shaped toroidal pattern. Above you, below you, all around you, pulsing with every heartbeat and carrying information about your emotional state, your beliefs, your dominant frequencies, and your deepest sense of who you are. This field is your primary form of communication with the quantum layer of reality. It's not your thoughts the universe responds to first. It's not your words, your intentions, or your vision boards. It's this field, this living, pulsing broadcast your body generates every second of your life. The quantum field reads it the way a radio tower reads a signal, picking up your frequency and assembling reality around it, pulling toward you the people, circumstances, and opportunities that match what you're actually broadcasting. Most people never learn this. We're taught to manage our thoughts, watch our words, and set our intentions, all while staying completely unaware that underneath it all, our energy field is broadcasting something far more powerful and far more honest. Because your aura doesn't lie. It doesn't broadcast what you want to believe about yourself or what you're trying to project to the world. It broadcasts what you actually are at the frequency level. Your genuine emotional patterns, your real sense of safety or threat, your true beliefs about what you deserve and what's possible for you. And this is where it gets personal. If something is stirring in your chest right now, that recognition is only the beginning. When your life is about to move into a higher frequency, your energy field has to reorganize. The old frequency, scarcity, unworthiness, fear, smallness, has to clear before the new signal can come through cleanly. That clearing isn't gentle, it's thorough. It removes anything that no longer matches where your field is heading. Relationships, circumstances, identities, and all of it feels like loss in the moment when it's actually liberation. I can feel that you've been in that clearing. Things have ended. Things you assumed were permanent turned out to be seasonal. And underneath the grief, there's been something else. A quiet sense of rightness, a knowing that even though it hurt, it was correct. That wasn't denial. That was your aura recognizing its own reorganization. Scientists studying the heart's electromagnetic field call this stretch field turbulence, a period right before a jump in coherence where the signal temporarily scatters. Most people misread it as failure. But turbulence before coherence isn't breakdown, it's rebuilding. Think of it as tearing out old wiring before installing a system that can carry 10 times the current. The house goes dark for a moment, only because something brighter is about to switch on. This is what I mean when I say you already won. Sitting in that uncomfortable in-between isn't a sign you're stuck. It's a sign your field has been doing the most important work of your life, quietly, without needing your conscious permission. Your aura has been preparing you for the frequency you're about to live in. And something in your field just recognized that the preparation is finished. That's why you're here. So you can enter this chapter consciously, because a conscious broadcast is infinitely more powerful than an unconscious one. Think of every life chapter as its own setting on a dial. While tuned to your old chapter, the quantum field assembled a reality that matched it. The people, the opportunities, the recurring circumstances, not as punishment, but simply as a response to the signal you were sending. Now your field is tuned differently. The old frequency is cleared, and the new one is stabilizing. Here's what changes. The quantum field doesn't just deliver better experiences. It delivers a different category of experience, like switching from black and white to full color. Synchronicities start multiplying because your field is now resonating with a layer of possibility that used to be out of range. This isn't wishful thinking. It's quantum resonance. Like frequencies attract like frequencies, the same way fields entrain and amplify each other in physics. Marin's story. Let me tell you about Marin. She'd spent 12 years building a life that looked like success from the outside. The right career, the right relationship, the right apartment, while underneath, her field had been quietly broadcasting. This isn't it. This isn't my frequency. She felt it as a persistent restlessness, a sense of being slightly out of phase with her own life. Then, over about 18 months, it all came apart. The relationship ended. The career felt hollow. The apartment stopped feeling like home. One by one, the structures fell, and Marin, always so composed, found herself in a free fall she had no framework for. She called it her falling apart period. What was actually happening was a complete clearing of the old frequency. The quantum field finally responding to the signal she'd been sending for years. The problem was, she'd wanted the new chapter without the dissolution. Near the end of that stretch, alone in her nearly empty apartment, she felt something she hadn't felt in years. Her own signal, clean and unmistakable, like a bell that had just been struck. She didn't have words for it. She just knew, the way the body knows before the mind does, that the clearing was complete. That was the real beginning of her new chapter. Not when the good things arrived, though they did breathtakingly, but the moment her field broadcast a clean signal for the first time in years. Within 6 months, her life had reorganized around a frequency she'd never dared fully inhabit. Looking back, she'd say the falling apart period was the most important one of her life. Not because it was pleasant, but because it was the clearing that made everything else possible. Your clearing has been happening too. You're standing where she stood. The signal is clean. The quantum field is already assembling around it. Let's do something together, right now. This isn't visualization or positive thinking. It's a deliberate act of electromagnetic coherence, organizing your heart's broadcast so it carries a clear signal into the field around you. HeartMath's research shows that in a coherent state, the heart's field extends further and interacts more powerfully with everything around it. Find a comfortable position. Let your shoulders drop, your jaw unclench, your hands rest open, palms up. Bring your attention to the center of your chest, not thinking about it, just feeling it. Feel the warmth, the pulse. There's a real field around you right now. Breathe slowly into that center. As you breathe in, call to mind something that generates genuine warmth. A person, a place, a memory, anything your heart responds to honestly. Let that warmth build and spread into your throat, your belly, your arms, your hands, and out beyond your skin. This is an imagination. This is your heart's field shifting into coherence, expanding, brightening. Electromagnetically, not metaphorically. From inside that warmth, don't think that there's a new chapter beginning. You can feel the edge of it, the way you feel the sun's warmth before stepping out of the shade. It's already assembled and waiting in the field around you, and your coherence right now is reaching toward it. You don't have to figure it out or earn it. You just have to let your field broadcast clearly from this place of warmth. The signal of someone who knows they've arrived at the beginning of something extraordinary. Notice what's radiating from you. That warmth, that settled knowing. That is your new frequency, and the quantum field is already reading it and assembling around it. Remember this feeling. The more you practice generating it, the faster your best chapter assembles around you. Your light is on. Right now it's clear and it's powerful. In quantum physics, a system can exist in multiple possible states at once until interaction forces it to collapse into one definite reality. Your aura does something similar with your life's possibilities. When your field is incoherent, broadcasting conflicting signals, you get glimpses, partial manifestations, things that almost work, relationships that almost fit, opportunities that almost land. When your field becomes coherent, that probability field starts collapsing in a specific direction. The almost disappears. Things arrive fully. The complete yes, the fully aligned opportunity. And notice the acceleration too. A coherent field gets a faster, fuller response from the quantum field. So what used to take years starts happening in weeks. That's not luck. It's a clean signal being read immediately instead of getting lost in static. If nervousness shows up in response to how fast or how well things are going, that's just the old frequency's echo. This can't be real. Be careful. You can meet it with compassion and let it go. It belongs to a frequency you no longer live in. Things work this well for you now. That's not arrogance. That's electromagnetic reality. Fields vibrating at the same frequency don't just coexist, they amplify each other. This is why consciously recognizing that you're entering a new chapter is so much more powerful than letting it unfold unnoticed. When you become aware of your own field, your broadcast and the quantum field around you enter resonance amplification. Your recognition of your own signal strengthens it. The quantum field responds faster and more fully to a conscious signal, simply because it's more coherent. This is why becoming aware of your aura changes everything. Not magic, just coherence. Every layer of understanding you gain makes your broadcast more organized and precise. You're upgrading your aura right now, just by understanding it. Not everyone in your life will be able to shift with you. And that says nothing about their worth. It's simply frequency compatibility. People tied to your old chapter may start to drift. Conversations that used to flow start to feel effortful. That's not failure. It's field reorganization. The quantum field is realigning your relationships to match your new frequency. Trust that process the way you trusted the reorganization of your circumstances. The people who belong in your new chapter are already moving toward you. Some you already know, others you haven't met yet. When you meet them, you'll feel instant recognition. That sense of being seen without needing to explain, of your own field brightening in their presence. Those are your chapter people. There's a quiet, settled quality of light that shows up once a person completes a major clearing. Not dramatic, just the light of arrival. People around you may not be able to name it, but they'll say things like, "You seem different. You seem lighter." They're sensing a field change, not a haircut. This is field resonance. Your coherent signal affects the people around you, whether they realize it or not. HeartMath's research shows coherent hearts entrain incoherent ones toward greater organization. Your radiance is genuinely contagious, which is why your best chapter isn't just good for you. It's good for everyone your field touches. Quantum entanglement describes how two particles that have interacted stay connected across distance. Your field does something similar. Every deep connection you've had leaves a lasting trace, which is why certain relationships and places still feel significant long after they've ended. The good news? Entanglement can be updated. As your field shifts frequency, old entanglements loosen naturally. No need to force or cut anything, while new ones form at your new frequency. People who feel instantly familiar, places that feel instantly like home, opportunities that feel instantly aligned. These aren't coincidences. Welcome them. They're the architecture of your best chapter. Your radiance isn't something you generate through effort. It's what you are, underneath every layer of conditioning and fear you ever absorbed. You are, quite literally, a field of organized energy. That light doesn't need to be earned or switched on. It's already on. It's always been on. The clearing you went through wasn't destroying anything. It was revealing what was underneath the static the whole time. You're not becoming radiant. You're revealing the radiance that was always there. And once you understand that, you understand you can't lose it. You can only cover it again temporarily. And now you know exactly how to clear that faster than before. People who've made this shift fully describe it as coming home. Not to a place, but to a frequency. The restlessness that defined the old chapters simply resolves, not through effort, but through arrival. They also describe a new kind of ease, not because life gets simpler, but because they're finally moving through it as themselves, instead of performing a version of themselves. And they describe the synchronicities multiplying. The right person, the right opportunity, the right information, arriving at exactly the right time, not miracles. The quantum field responding to a coherent signal with precision and speed. Pay attention to them. Let them confirm what your field already knows. Let's anchor everything we've covered today. Come back to your breath, back to the center of your chest. Bring back that warmth from earlier and let it build. From inside that warmth, feel the clearing you've been through. Not with grief, but with respect for its precision and purpose. Feel gratitude for the version of you who carried you through it without understanding it at the time. Now feel where you are now. At the entrance, the clearing complete, the signal clean, the new chapter already assembled and waiting for your coherent broadcast to call it into form. Make a declaration, not necessarily in words, but with your field. I am ready, not someday, now. The clearing is complete. My field is coherent. My signal is clean. What I radiate, reality assembles around. And I am radiating the settled, unshakable certainty of someone who has arrived at the beginning of something extraordinary. Let that settle into your field. Let your body learn what this feels like, so you can return to it easily throughout your day. the stillness of early morning, or the quiet before sleep are especially powerful times to return to it. And if someone in your life is going through their own clearing right now, consider sharing this with them. It strengthens both of your fields at once. You found this video. Your field brought you here, and I don't think that was random. Your energy, which always knows more than your conscious mind, picked up a signal that said, "It's time." The clearing is complete. The new chapter is beginning, and you're ready to enter it consciously. Light on, field coherent. Underneath everything you've inherited and absorbed, your real signal has been broadcasting the whole time. Patient, waiting for you to become conscious of it so you could broadcast it deliberately. That moment is now, and the quantum field, completely neutral and completely faithful to whatever it receives, is assembling your best chapter around you, starting right now. You won. Not because you fought for it, but because you're a field of coherent quantum energy that's been prepared precisely and purposefully for exactly this frequency. Your light has been on this whole time, and now you know it. Welcome to your best chapter. Welcome to the frequency you were always meant to inhabit. Your field is coherent. Your signal is clear. Your light is on. What you radiate, reality assembles around, and you are radiating something extraordinary. Shine. Not because you should, but because that's what you are.